Hidden in the midst of the Appalachian Mountains are secrets.
I don't think that we can really go back far enough that we can establish exactly how they got here or who they were.
A mystery.
A matter of self-preservation.
A people.
Melungeon was a stigma.
Forgotten. On purpose.
I don't fault any of my ancestors for trying to preserve their lives.
Melungeon. The word itself is a mystery.
The Portuguese term for shipmate is Melungeon.
But perhaps its most likely origin, the French word mélange, a slur used in the Old South against anyone with dark skin.
That a lot of people were really upset because they may be classified as being black.
The dark-skinned, blue-eyed people who settled at the feet of the mountains in a town called Vardy, many people believe are a mixed race made up of European, Native Americans, maybe even shipwrecked Portuguese sailors.
We have very few people who will agree on any of the theories about their origins. Everyone has a different spin.
But one spin is they come from African descent.
So they kind of shut up and were quiet about their ancestry.
These whispers in the mountains echoed through generations, but the secrets stayed trapped, covering up who they were, afraid for their lives to admit they had any African blood in their veins.
Go back to the 1800s. Would you want to admit that you were African American and become a slave? No.
For all we don't know, one thing we do, they suffered.
At 5 years old, in 1947, I went to school up here on the hill.
Druanna Overbay grew up in the Melungeon town of Vardy. It was the only life she knew, but without a clue about who she was.
I came in and picked up the magazine, the Saturday Evening Post. My mother was inside, and she came running out, and she said, "You give me that dirty, filthy magazine, and I don't want to hear you mention it again." And she took it away from me.
The people in the magazine were from Vardy. The faces looked like hers. Her curiosity grew roots, but her questions weren't answered.
Whenever I first discovered that I am Melungeon, my mother absolutely was adamant that we were not.
With their dark skin, they were forced to defend themselves against the shockwaves of racism sweeping a nation.
She didn't want us associated with being Melungeon because she wanted to protect us.
Because where there were secrets, also lurked danger.
There was a fella in Virginia, Walter Plecker, who was emasculating young Melungeon boys.
Because of his age, Druanna's brother was a target.
Hitler even sent in his henchmen to study how to eradicate a race. And because Walter Plecker felt like that Melungeons were inferior, if there was one drop of African blood, they were supposed to be destroyed some way or another.
But fear is no match for pride. Druanna worked to uncover her family's buried secrets. It wasn't until the end of the century that her mother opened up.
She said, "I have something to give you. If you're going to tell this story, I might as well give you what I've got." And that's whenever she gave me that Saturday Evening Post magazine back. I went, oh, I couldn't believe it.
Now Druanna owns and works the original Melungeon homestead, preserving the land, bringing back to life the story that was never told.
This is where my ancestry began. How much pride I have.
Still, a mystery remains hidden in the mountains.
We want to solve a good mystery.
Finding the forgotten faces of Appalachia. Reporting in Vardy, Brittany Tarwater, Local 8 News.